I got the horse right here. The name is Paul Revere, and here's the
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicapper's Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Heads, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the 7 races at Hastings. We're going to touch on the Belmont Stakes. Big day in New York, Drew. All eyes on American Pharoah. Can he become the first horse since 1978 to win the Triple Crown? They have got a great card at Belmont Park. I don't think they start early. But, of course, the big race is the Belmont Stakes, a mile and a half. Can he get the distance and win the Triple Crown?
I think so. I like the way he's coming into the race. I like the fact I've watched an interview with Baffert the other day. You know, he only had the 2 races in Arkansas before the Derby.
Yeah, he's not over-raced.
So he's kind of lightly raced, where a lot of these horses, by the time they get to the Belmont, you know, it's been a long, arduous training regimen. You know, they've ran in every dance. I like the fact that he seems kind of fresh. He looked good in the Preakness, and hopefully he can hold up in the Belmont. We're open early that day. We're open at 8 o'clock. First race is 8:30. The Belmont actually runs about 3:50 our time.
Yeah, so it's but tons. There's a lot of stakes action. They got I think they got a grade 1, a $400,000 race, like the 3rd race on the card, which is like 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah, the Brooklyn I know runs at.
There's a lot of
it's 400 grand, and it's the 6th race.
It's an amazing card. Belmont's put
it's like a Breeders' Cup kind of card.
It is. It's numerous grade 1 horses. Bayern is running. Also out of the Bob Baffert barn. So it should be a lot of fun, but a great day at Belmont Park. Of course, lots of simulcasting. There are still a few.
We still have some room here.
A couple of empty seats.
604-536-2978. Give us a call if you
get down and
get here. And of course, at Hastings, they have the big
Jumbotron.
The Jumbotron. It's going to be a huge day there. Weatherman is calling for a good day, so.
Should be a lot of fun.
Way to go, Belmont Day.
Yes, I know. It should be a lot of fun. All right, let's get into the Hastings program. Got a field of 6 to kick things off in the Saturday opener. Got some $8,000 fillies and mares that are non-2, not-3 lifetime. There is quite a bit of speed in the race, I think, on paper. I think the 2 horses going to go, Charming Silver, the 3, Quiet Finality, and the 4, Elusive Lily. I don't dispute the fact that the 4, Elusive Lily is the best horse in the race. There's no dispute on paper. She's got the best numbers. She's the best horse. I just think she may fall victim to kind of a tough pace.
There is quite a bit of gas in here.
I'm going to lean on the 5-horse Bamboo Dream, who is dropping in class. She doesn't win ever, it seems. She's winless the last 2 years. But she's finally down for 8,000. She's been running at some tough horses. And she was a victim of a slow pace in her last couple of starts. And so I'm going to give her a shot. I'm going to say today's the day. She gets a good, crisp, contested pace. I'm going to try her to win it. Alex Marty riding lights out right now. Doing very well. And Patty Leaney, the trainer for Ken Takita's UMA Racing Stables. And I put the 4-horse, Elusive Lily. That's the horse to beat for Bud Millett and Anita Bolton. Pedro re-rides. I mean, you know, the horse she got beat by, Amidiva 2, came back to win. You know, definitely putting a little more credence to that race. And she's live. She's your 3 to 5 favorite, though. I wouldn't be surprised to see her win, but I put the 1-horse Queen Militant in for 3rd for Sylvia Gregory. Pretty consistent mare that runs good races. She is, you know, she's back down in class after trying $16,000 non-2s, but she'll be her 4th race already this year.
Yeah, it's back in a week.
I went 5-4-1. I'm just hoping for a big, hot pace, and I'm going to try Bamboo Dream.
Which there well could be. I went with Elusive Lily, as you mentioned.
That's the pick.
She's the best horse in the race. I mean, beat her to get the money. So I put her on top connections. Anita Bolton, Pedro Alvarado. I went with the 2, Charming Silver in the 2nd spot. Jody Rawson, just the 1 run, and she absolutely dusted him. 1 by 5. That was for 12.5. Makes a logical step down to an 8,000 non-2. Jody's not losing her head. She's putting her in the right spot, and Jody's horse is running very well. Got very unlucky to just miss with Wild Rose of Texas last week.
That was so good
getting reached by Belmont. But Jody's horse is running very good. I like where she puts this horse. You know, Crush for 12.5, puts her in for 8 non-2. That's the right place to go. I got her in 2nd. And Bamboo Dream, your top pick, obviously, has been facing tougher since anyone can remember. Drops down the $8,000 level. She is one to be respected. As you mentioned, Alex Marty doing very good right now. 4, 2, and 5 for me in the 1st. On the 2nd, Fillies and Mares Maiden Special Weight, going 6.5. I went to the 6 here, Iraqi Princess out of the John Snow Barn. I know they were high on this filly last time, and this was kind of a screwy race last time. It was her first start, and there was a mess in the gate where 1 horse wouldn't load, and it took like 15 minutes. And the 2 horses that ran like last and second last that day were one of Mark Lucche's and this filly, both making their first starts, and I think they just absolutely melted down, taking that long in the gate. She was soaked. I know they're high on her. I think she has the talent. This one didn't come up overly tough. So I'm going to put Iraqi Princess on top. I put the 5 Bold and Lovely in the second spot. Good second behind Sailing for the Sun, who absolutely wired him last time and beat a accomplished filly in Rockport Dancer. I got Bold and Lovely in the second spot. Wouldn't be surprised to see her win it. And third spot, I went to a first-time starter, Ebony Cat out of the Barb Heads Barn, daughter of Storm Victory. Richard Hamill rides. She's been training at Pegasus Training Center, which is a great place.
Yeah, it's a good spot to
train. She debuts on the Lasix program. Richard Hamill takes the call. That's good enough for me. I went 6, 5, and 2.
Yeah, I went with the 5 Bold and Lovely. I didn't love anyone in this race. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I can see any of these fillies winning. I like all 6 of them. I went to the 5 Bold and Lovely just because she ran second, but you're not going to get 20 to 1 like you did last time.
Today, yeah.
So did get a perfect trip when running second. Just scooted up the inside past Rockport Dancer, who had put pressure on the speed to try and win the race. It obviously cost her second money, but Bold and Lovely, you know, fell into a nice spot. But still, it was only her first race of the year, and she has every reason to get better.
Yeah.
How about the 6, Ricky Princess? A Ricky Princess, I don't know. Close enough.
Oh, Ricky, you're so fine.
Yeah. I agree with what you said. Lots of troubles in her debut. There was a lot of action prior to the race. She even got bounced around after the gates were open. She lost valuable position.
Yeah.
She was running off and behind horses. She didn't rate very kindly for Keyshawn Belgobin. But come back to work well, has the race under belt. Might even be able to get the lead in here. There's no speed in the race. I mean, she might be your pace setter. And so she's live. And I put the 4-horse blended. She's had a lot of chances. Distant second to Flair Miss last time in a maiden 25 grander. But had to put someone in for third. It was just her first race of the year, and she's come back to work well also. I went 5, 6, and 4, but I can agree with the 2-horse Ebony Cat. Looks like she can run a little, you know, from a good family, and you've got to respect Richard Hamill being in the irons as well. But I did go 5, 6, and 4. On to the third race, first of 2 stakes races. This is the Emerald Downs for 3-year-old fillies going 6.5 furlongs. Only a field of 5 signed on, and I ended up on the 3, the obvious choice here.
She's going to be a handful here.
Yeah, she is. I mean, she dusted the field off.
She runs back that last race.
Yeah, 16 and change. And she pays the penalty for winning. She has to pack 121 pounds, but I don't think that'll stop her. Let's go Quattro Cat over the 2 Saffron.
Yeah.
Nice win at the $25,000 level at Emerald Downs. I thought it was a pretty good race considering she didn't get away well and still rallied to win. A very game effort. She looks like the next best to me. And I put the 1 Rockport Dancer in for third. I think she'll be. I think her best races are when she's held back early and they make one run with her. Last couple of times she's been trying to get position in those maiden races and she's been flattening out a little. But I'm going to give her another shot, so I put her in for third. Finality's Charmer, nice filly, but I think she's going to get caught up in the pace. And same with the, claiming filly in 737, broke his maiden for 12 grand, and then came back and won and on 2. But still, these are tougher horses.
Yeah,
I went 3-2-1.
I agree with you. I looked at 737, and I think an allowance race at Northlands Park is quite a bit softer than
no kidding.
A stakes race here.
Better fillies.
I don't have much to add. Quattro Cat I have on top. As you said,
everyone else is kind of.
If she runs back to that race, they're not even going to get close to her. Saffron in the second spot. Very accomplished filly for she's been bouncing around. She broke her maiden here last year for 12.5. Was down the bay running those. She won for 12.5 there. That was in those allowance races, and most recently won at 25 at Emeralds. I don't mind Saffron. She likes to win. She's half her starts or wins. I got her in the second spot. And Rockport Dancer, Antonio Reyes returning to our jock room this weekend. Good to see Reyes back. And another one, 4 starts, 2 seconds, 2 thirds. She's never missed the board. I'll put her in the third spot, expecting she hits the board again in here. I went 3, 2, and 1, same as Mike in the third. On to the fourth, boys' turn. The River Rock Casino going 6.5 for 3-year-olds as we another notch towards the BC Derby. And again, not a wise guy pick here. I went with Cedarburg, 3 starts, 3 wins. Looked very comfortable winning the Jim Coleman Province. Back on the 3rd of May on Derby Day. Now he runs back 3 weeks later on Belmont Day. I think he's the one you have to beat in here. He looks pretty good. At 85 buyer for the last one. I put the 5-horse Sam Slick. If there is kind of a wise guy horse that could beat him, I think it's Sam Slick. Was running in maiden special weights at Santa Anita. Won one of those at Golden Gate. Those maiden special weights at Golden Gate are not soft. Those are tough races. It's reflected that he gets an 80 buyer for it. And this is this spot makes sense for him to run in the stake up here after winning a maiden special weight in Golden Gate. Puts him right in the mix, and a nice 45-4 on the 31st of May. That was last Sunday. Worked 45-4 here under Brian Kozak's daughter, Kim Kozak. And the third spot, I put Bluegrass Angus, led the whole way and got beat by Cedarburg last time. They do take the blinkers off. Maybe trying to get him relaxed a little bit because he did run pretty quick last time in 22-1 and 45 and change. Maybe if he could slow those fractions down, it'll give him a better chance to finish strong under Richard Hamill for trainer Craig McPherson. I went 3-5-2.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to add. Cedarburg's your horse. You know, he bested everyone last time. He's undefeated. He's still running big races, and he's worked well since the race. He's nicely drawn in gate 3. There's some options for rider David Lopez, who's riding excellent. Cedarburg's your horse. The 5, Sam Slick, he comes in with some strong credentials. He's running in Calbred races in Southern California, but came up, as you mentioned, in an open maiden allowance up at Golden Gate. And got the job done.
Those aren't easy races.
No, they're not. There's some nice little horses there, and he seems obviously he's adapted nicely to our Hastings Oval, zipping around a half mile in 45-4. So he's obviously got a lot of ability. And I've seen him train in the morning. He certainly looks good. I know Pedro's been on him in the mornings. He wasn't aboard for that work, but I know he's been familiarized with Sam Slick. So this one's got a big chance. And I put the 4-horse Mighty Fraser. I had to throw someone in for third. Thought this horse might be able to, catch a little deadwood in the stretch.
A bit of the now horse. He's won 2 in a row, so he's going the right way.
He's 2 for 2, and since returning to Hastings, and there's quite a bit of speed in the race, and he might be able to catch some tiring pace setters like the 1 and the 2. I don't know exactly how the race is going to set up, but Legion of Boom's a neat horse. That's we don't know how good he is. I mean, he's well bred.
It's on a Harbor the Gold.
He lost to. I can't read his name.
Fooled again. That
was the one that won the
horse,
stake. He came back and won the first 3-year-old stake race. He's by Scat Daddy. So it was no disgrace in losing to him in that maiden race. And then he came back and won. So there's some good credentials here with Legion of Boom.
Another one, he's never been off the board, right? 4 starts, a win, 2 seconds, and a third.
Yeah, no, he's a nice colt. And he's just unfortunately running into some tough maiden races. And that can happen. He's by Harbor the Gold. He's got an excellent pedigree. And wouldn't be shocked to see him, a player as Bluegrass Angus. And I guess Richard told Craig maybe the blinkers cost us last time. He couldn't see Cedarburg coming or something, and so they're going to change the blinkers.
Tend to relax a little bit too.
Perhaps, but more importantly, maybe to see a horse coming, or I don't know if his holes were open on the blinkers or not. But I mean, it's nice to see a change, and if he's got more to give, that's going to be an interesting battle.
He's got a nice work back on May 18th too, and 46-3, and then a 101 on the 26th of May too. So he's working well coming into this as well.
So basically, we like all 5 horses in this race. It is a cool race, a nice 3-year-old event. I went Cedarburg. I went 3-5-4, but an excellent renewal of the River Rock Casino handicap. On to the 5th race. This does kick off your late pick 3. We've got a field of 9, 16,000. It's a good little race. 16,000 conditional claimers. They're non-2 lifetime or non-3 B. You can be a BC bred, and you're eligible if you're non-winner of 3 lifetime. Going to go 6.5 furlongs. I ended up on the 4 Richter Red. He drops out of an open $25,000 red. It's a tough race with track.
Very tough
race.
Rock
and roll. Those are cool, like salty horses that have won oodles of races. He gets in against conditional horses. This is a considerable drop. Richter Red for me, favorably drawn in gate 4. I think Jeff can get him into a good spot early, and he's live. Put the 5-horse Irish Romeo in for 2nd. I thought a pretty good run behind Spirit River and DJ Snow. Hopefully a better trip this time, because he didn't get the best of goes.
It looks like there's going to be a lot of gas here.
Yeah, I just think things are being a little more crowded. At least Irish Romeo has a little versatility to him. And I put the 8-horse What Goes Around in for 3rd. He's been running against better horses in Southern California, but obviously something's gone amiss as he's been off since last August. But his works are decent since coming back, and he's raced here at Hastings before, and he hasn't won a race here, but he ran against some pretty good horses when he was here, so I'm going to give him a shot at, and Pedro does ride this horse, so the son of finality. So I'm at 4, 5, and 8, but I do like Richter Red.
Yeah, I had a lot of trouble with this one. As you see, I had a lot of different horses picked to win.
A lot of scribbling.
I ended up on Richter Red. I agree. I mean, I think it's going to be pretty quick up front, and he's got a nice kind of stock and pounds kind of style to him. And as you mentioned, that last race he comes out of was a doozy. That was very tough. I put Spirit River, who just won the same condition last time. He led the whole way. I think he's probably going to get a little bit more company up front, and he could be compromised because of that.
I just interrupt you for a second. I know last time he had an outside draw. He didn't break great, but the outside helped him because he could gallop up and get the lead.
And this time
he's inside. He could get bottled up because he just wasn't that great a leading.
Yeah, he was
which for me was going to be a tactical disadvantage.
Yeah, he was.
That's the only reason I didn't put him in the top.
He was a 5 of 6 last time. Now he's the 2 of 9.
Yeah.
So yeah, a difference there. But if he does happen to get the lead by himself, he's going to be very tough.
He's nice enough to win, definitely. But just tactically, you got to figure out who's going to sit where. That's the thing about when you have a 5.5 furlong track, you try and figure out who's going to be where in these races. Because it matters who's going to get a good trip and who's going to get a lousy one. And that's usually how you can find some nice price winners. You can find out who's going to kind of get a lucky trip.
And the third spot, I put Bandolero out of the Troy Taylor barn. He is a 3-year-old running against older horses, but he's running against tough horses. They've obviously thought a fair bit of him. They ran him in the Jim Coleman Province. He didn't get a great trip that day and came back in an allowance race against Aditya and Cats on Fire, who are 2 pretty nice horses. So I put Bandolero in the third spot because this is a drop down for him
That's
too.
Good pick.
I went 4, 2, and 3 in the 5th. On to the 6th, 3-year-old maiden 25. That's another good one, 10 horses, and another one you can look a few different ways. I went with the 1, Every Night's a Blur. I thought that was a decent race, his first one. He ran kind of an even race, his first out, and that was a tough race against Creus, and the odds are good. Creus I think is a very nice horse.
He's a nice horse.
And the odds are good, would be a heavy favorite in here, and he didn't get beat that far, right? He did get a little tired late. It was his first start. That was on May 23rd, and I just think he takes a good step forward in his second race. He's well bred. What a Blur was a very nice mare around here for the same owners, Paul Caravetta. And yeah, I just think Every Night's a Blur. He's going to go, say catch me if you can. He showed like he was laying close last time. If he can move that forward a little bit, he's going to be tough to catch. I put the 2 Shoe Swap in there. Another one ran a decent race. He did get beat by 9. That was in that Brother Duster. The odds are good. That was way back on opening weekend. He's come back to work very good since the May 24th minute flat. That was the best of 33 that day. Then a nice little 47 and 2. Pedro Alvarado takes over. Rob Gilker and Pedro Alvarado always do very well together. Another one that may go, but I think he can improve on that first race. And the third spot, I put Mo Can Do It. He's had a fair amount of chances. Only got beat by 2 lengths. Just got beat by Smart Focus in that maiden 25, the last one. I think Smart Focus is the decent horse, or 2 back, because Smart Focus won the last one. Right. But he's had more chances than a lot of these, so I went with the other guys. But he's probably got the talent to hit the board in here. I put him in the third spot. I went 1, 2, and 6.
Yeah, it's an interesting. He goes without blinkers too. Mo Can Do It, which he didn't wear blinkers last year, and they put blinkers on first start, and he might be have more to give. And we both like the 1. It was ridden by Alex Marty,
and he goes
and he ends up on Mo Can Do It. So I know sometimes you can think too much into a race, but there's definitely some reasons.
There's a lot of ways to look at this one. Yeah,
I agree with you though on the 1, Every Night's a Blur. If that horse runs that same race back, I think he wins. That was maiden allowance. He was 4 wide early. When you're chasing the pace in 22 and 45, and you're 4 wide, and you still hang on for 5th. I'm impressed. Yeah. And the horse only got beat 7 lengths, and those are better horses, Creus, and as you mentioned, the odds are good, and Captain Jones. So I just think from the rail, this horse gets the lead, plays Catch Me If You Can, and if that same race he ran last time resurfaces, I think he has to win. Yeah. I put the 9 horse Heartset in for second.
Yeah. I didn't have Heartset in there, and he's another one.
It was only 16,000, but still, that Stonebridge Ruler was pretty good. He just got unfortunate to run into a horse on the class drop as well. They were way clear of the 3rd horse, and it was just the 2nd race of the year, his 3rd lifetime start, so I think he's worth following. And I put the 7 horse Rosie's Notice, another one on the class drop, banging heads with Peace Arch and Brother Duster. Those horses are a little too tough. I know they want to go a little longer with this horse, but there's no long races going, maiden races.
For our good friend,
Lauren McDougall, who owns with Agnes Jackson and her daughter Jennifer. But yeah, this horse is live in here as well. This 25 didn't come up super tough.
No, I know.
But still, the Rosie's Notice will need some pace breaks. But I went 1, 9, and
one 7. Of these, I should say, one of these Sidney Krasner horses. I think it's PS Betting on You is a giant.
PS Diamond Cutter's a big horse. I know that.
Maybe that's the one. I saw her paddock school in one of these.
Our nephew Taylor Anderson gets on him.
Yeah, go down to the paddock. As Mike would say, go down to the paddock and have a look at him. I know one of these. Maybe it's Diamond Cutter. Is just a giant. He's a grindstone, and I know one of them probably cut out to be a fairly nice horse because he's very big.
I went 1, 9, and 7 in the 6th. On to the 7th and final. Before we will touch on the Belmont Stakes after this 7th and final tasting. I got a field of 6, just a small field to close out the card. Hopefully you're in front. You don't. It's tough to get out of get out of debt race. There were only 6 horses in the race. But I've gone to the 6 Brackendale. I liked him last time. He wanted a pretty good price, narrowly defeating Laundered Money, who's since come back to win.
Came back to win allowance
a non-2, non-3 allowance. Brackendale for me. I put the 2-horse 3-way trade, who easily cruised to a maiden score for $4 grand. Did lose to Similkameen Luke, who I have in the 3rd spot. 2 starts back, but I just think with Brackendale in the race and Carson City Brown dropping, there might be a little more pace pressure for Similkameen Luke. And, not to say that he needs the lead, but might help out 3-way trade. I went 6, 2, and 3.
I have very little to add here. I like Brackendale, especially being flattered by beating Laundered Money, who came back to win that allowance race. 3-way trade, I think. Was unlucky. You know, Similkameen Luke was very well met in his first race of the year.
I liked him that day. He ran,
I know you liked him that day. You had him pick second.
I didn't pick
him
to win, but I picked him to run second.
22 to 1. But he hasn't ran back since then. 3-way trades run back, got a win, and I just think he's in better form.
Right.
And Similkameen Luke obviously just crushed for 4,000. This is a very legitimate, a proper spot for Hunky Bill, who's rolling right now.
They're kicking it.
6 starts, 3 winners, 2 seconds. Billy is rolling.
The crew, Rio, Brian O'Riordan, and Buff. I mean, they're having a good party down there.
Yeah, I know, they're rolling. And didn't get crazy with the horse. This is the logical, perfect spot to put him in is an 8 non-2. He will win one of these. Yep. I don't know if it's today. I went 6, 2, and 3, same as Mike. That'll do it for our analysis of the Saturday card. We're going to do our picks first, and then we will get into the Belmont.
We'll get a recap of the Hastings select. Here we go. Back in race number 1. I went to the 5. I got 5s in the daily. I'm hoping for a 5-5 daily double. I went to the 5 Bamboo Dream. I went 5-4-1 in the opener. 5-6-4 in race number 2. In the 3rd race, the first of 2 stakes races, I went to the 3, the obvious selection, Quatre Cat, 3-2-1. 4th race, went to the 3, Cedarburg, another favorite, but likely to be pretty dangerous.
Favorite,
3, 5, and 4 for me in the River Rock Casino, the 4th race. The 5th race, went to the 4, Richter Red over the 5, Irish Romeo, and the 8, What Goes Around. I think you need a few horses in that race, in your pick 4s or pick 3s. Race number 6, I went to the 1, Every Night's a Blur over the 9, Heart Set, and the 7, Rosie's Notice. And then the 7th and final, I went to the 6, Brackendale, 6-2-3 for me in the Saturday finale.
On to me. I do have a lot of the same picks as Mike here. In the first, I went to the 1, Elusive Lily over the 2 and the 5. In the second, I went to the 6, Areki Princess over the 5 and the 2. In the third, number 3, She Looks Good, Quatre Cat over the 2, Saffron and the 1, Rockport Dancer. In the 4th, the River Rock Casino, I went to the 3, Cedarburg over the 5, Sam Slick and the 2, Bluegrass Angus. In the 5th, I'm on the 4, Richter Red over the 2 and the 3. In the 6th, number 1, Every Night's a Blur over the 2 and the 6. And in the 7th, number 6, Brackendale over the 2 and the 3.
Well, of course, all eyes will be on.
There is one other
one kind of other race.
Another kind of race
today that it could be part of the Triple Crown. The 147th running the Belmont Stakes.
American Pharaoh.
American Pharaoh, of course. Can he pull off the Triple Crown? I'm gonna.
You can tell me why he won't, and I'll tell you why he will.
Okay, I will. I'm gonna go to the 6 Frosted to defeat American Pharaoh. Frosted was a troubled 4th in the Kentucky Derby.
Just got beat. There was a photo between him and Dortmund.
Yeah, skipped the Preakness. I went and watched the replay again. This horse got shuffled back out of the gate, as you would expect in an 18-horse field, had a 15 post. Didn't get great position, was about 7 wide down the back stretch, went widest of all on the stretch turn, was 6 wide, got beat 3 lengths for all the money. American Pharaoh was 3 wide the whole race, but it was in a comfortable position.
He was right where Victor wanted him.
And
sitting there.
Frosted's a New York horse. This horse has not been worse than 2nd in New York. That's where he's been kind of done most of his running and training for Kieran McLaughlin. Been an Aqueduct at Belmont and Saratoga. But I just think Frosted, if anyone's going to beat American Pharaoh, I mean, everyone wants American Pharaoh to win. I wouldn't mind seeing him win either. He's a cool horse. But if anyone's going to beat him, I think you have to play the 6-horse Frosted. And I put the 8-horse Materiality in for 3rd. He had a troubled journey in the Kentucky Derby as well. He's a big, long, striding son of a Fleet Alex, bred by John Gunther.
Our good regular here, good friend of ours.
A lot of time. He was actually here about an hour ago. But
also breeder of Cedarburg.
Yes, I think he'll be watching the Belmont.
Probably be watching the Belmont a little bit closer.
More than the River Rock. But anyway, I went 6, 5, and 8. I'm going to say Frosted gets American Pharaoh and snubs the Triple Crown bid. Boo. And it lives for 1 more year, at least, till 2016.
Okay, I'll tell you why American Pharaoh is going to win. And I have Materiality 2nd. Materiality will get the distance.
Yes, correct. Big long horse.
Yeah, and
horse.
John Gunther breeds very nice horses.
Yeah.
He's well bred
for classic winners.
Yeah, yes. He'll get the distance. I know. Actually, when I talked to him when he won the Florida Derby, me and John were talking about it, and he said he goes, I don't know. The Derby's such a mess with 20 horses, which is exactly what happened to him. But he said, but he is going to be really good for the Belmont because he'll get the distance. And Frosted, the one you like, I have him in third. Now, American Pharoah. A lot of times when these horses come into this race, they've been running pretty much straight through their 2-year-old year, into their 3-year-old year, and this is kind of the end of the line, right? Like you look back, California Chrome never missed a dance.
No, he ran a lot.
And when he got to the Belmont, he was just dog tired, I think. And it shows that last half a mile, right? They get leg weary.
It's the third race in 5 weeks, and as you mentioned off the top of the show, is that you've been training to all these prep races before the Triple Crown.
Yeah, exactly.
Back in November.
Just to get in. Now you're in, and now then you do the Derby, you do the Preakness, and now you're running a mile and a half 3 weeks later. It's just like, 90 degrees. You're done. American Pharoah, I think the best thing that happened to him was that he got hurt. He had a foot problem. It was nothing major, but so he went to the sidelines in September, right? Doesn't show up again till the 14th of March. That was in Arkansas. That was in the Rebel, I believe, and he absolutely dusted that field. Won by 6 1/4. It was fairly easy on him. Then he comes back in the Arkansas Derby. He wins by like 8, but like under a gallop. Like probably didn't get
not taxing races.
Not a taxing. Yeah, both of them were not taxing. I saw an interview with Baffert saying he was worried, if he was even fit enough to go in the Derby, and he thought he got enough out of the Derby that then he bounces back, comes back strong and fit in the Preakness, and I think he's rounding into form for the Belmont. I'm picking him on top. American Pharoah will be your Triple Crown winner.
The first one since 1970.
Knock on wood. I sure hope so. Post time is 3:50.
Yeah, 3:50.
For those of you.
Once again, if you can't make it out to the track at Hastings, please do. There's limited seating available. There still are a few seats, empty chairs here at the Derby Bar and Grill on Belmont Day.
536-2978.
So on behalf of Drew, thanks everyone.
Wait, are they going to put their picks up?
Oh yes. Oh yeah. A quick recap of our Belmont picks. There we go. Good catch, Drew. There's my picks: 6, 5, and 8. Frosted over American Pharoah and Materiality. And then Drew will head to
I'm going to American
Pharoah winner.
Materiality worries me about he can get the distance, but 5, 8, and 6.
He's mixing the bingo balls around 5, 8, and 6.
And those are the 3 horses, I think.
They are. They look like the ones. I'm trying to think. Maybe the horse coming in
Mutahib,
from Dubai, Tail of Verve, will get the distance. But
Gary Stevens aboard. Gary Stevens played spoiler before aboard Victory Gallop, beating Real Quiet.
Yes, he did. He was just got up to win it by a snaz. Kent DeSormo. Horse Real Quiet got a little gazing, ears were twitching, and there's another Triple Crown winner denied.
Dashed.
Denied. All righty, that'll do it for this edition of Handicapper's Corner. It should be a great afternoon. We got 7 excellent. We had 2 stakes at Hastings. We got the Belmont Stakes. Belmont's got a great card. Should be a lot of fun. Please, everyone, enjoy Belmont Stakes Saturday. 2
stakes on Sunday, too. First post time is 1:50.
On behalf of Drew, thanks everyone for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill.